Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, let me thank University of Health Sciences Lahore for organizing this webinar. That's like support what we always requested and what we always required for this immunization program. That immunization program, it's in silo cannot be successful, as we saw from Dr. Fatma presentation, that there are a lot of ups and downs in different situations. If it is an emergency situation, there are more other challenges, there are provincial differences in the coverages. So basically, it's not only the EPI program that's they are reaching the children. There are many other stakeholders, and I'm really happy that it reaches our academia in the form of University of Sciences Lahore. They are putting their share, and hopefully that this will not be the last webinar, but they'll be continuously supporting the program, inshallah. Now let's come to my presentation. It will be quite brief. That I'll just go through the history. That in 1976, when the pilot project with 6 basic antigen BCG, polio, measles, diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus, it was started, and then expanded across the country to in 1978. Then activities uski jo start hui in the project mode 1981 ki. 1994 we start the national polio immunization days. Then in 2002 we included the hepatitis B vaccine introduced. 2009 the pentavalent vaccine was introduced. 2014 2012 pneumococcal conjugated vaccine was introduced. 2015 inactivated polio vaccine was introduced. 2017 rotavirus vaccine was introduced. And now in 2019, we introduced the typhoid conjugated vaccine in Sindh, and now it is the rolling out is started. That's in Punjab this year. In 12 districts already we conducted the campaign, while from this 18th May, in the rest of the urban cities of the Punjab, we'll be giving this TCV campaign, and then it will be part of the routine immunization at the month of 9. So at the month of 9, measles rubella vaccine, another vaccine we are going to introduce. That's in 2021. From 15 November, we'll be having a countrywide campaign for this MR vaccine to replace the measles vaccines. Inactivated polio vaccine second dose that has been introduced in this 2021 from 15th April. And now this typhoid conjugated vaccine, its rollout is on way in Punjab. So this is a bit short history of the EPI. Started in 1976 and now in 2021. Here we can see that this is basically the EPI immunization schedule. Yes, Dr. Fatma rightly mentioned that we stick with those basic 6 visits, although we introduced new vaccines. But we didn't put other additional visits for the parents, for the community. So these are again the same 6 visits. That first visit at birth, where the child received BCG and OPV0 for polio. At second visit, that at the age of 6 weeks, the OPV1 for polio, pneumococcal, penta, and rota1. Then again at 10 weeks, then 14 week, we have these visits. And at the 9th month, we were receiving the measles vaccine. Now we will be receiving measles rubella, typhoid conjugate vaccine, and IPV2 at the age of 9 months. And 15 month, that will be MR, measles rubella vaccine will be. So the visit will remain the same, but we'll introduce more to vaccine this year in the EPI schedule. I'll just stick to the COVID outbreak, that what was the impact and what the challenges it posed to the EPI program. Basically, there were 2 challenges to the EPI and polio program in last quarter of 2019 and then the first half of 2020. That was not only the COVID, but there was a double brunt of the wild polio virus along with the circulating vaccine-derived poliomyelitis, that was CVDPV2, which was eradicated in 1999, but some of the CVDPV were identified in 2019 late, and then it's expanded across the country in most of the districts, in Tier 4, Tier 3, Tier 2 districts, that we isolated this CVDPV there. So there was not only the operational challenge for implementation of the activity, but also the virus isolation, that was wild polio virus, and also the circulating vaccine-derived polio virus was there. So this COVID-19 outbreak that posed basically 2 major challenges for the immunization program. One was the unprecedented logistic challenges to the supply of the vaccine. That you know that all the global, basically the air traffic, it was closed, the local transport was closed, manufacturing was closed. So there was a big logistic challenge to the supply of the vaccine within the country. While the second challenge was the reluctance to visit health facilities for vaccination due to concern around the COVID-19 transmission. And this was not only the reluctance, but even again within the intercity and intracity traffic blockages, the lockdown, smart lockdown, this again poses a challenge that the children couldn't reach to the health facilities. So mainly the challenges were around these two aspects, that logistic challenges and reluctance to visit the health facilities. If we look into the immunization coverages, this was majorly affected in the first half of 2020 due to COVID-19 outbreak. Like if we look into the BCG January to December 2019 and then January to June 2020. So there is a reduction of coverages in BCG from 99 to 82, Penta 1 from 97 to 70, Penta 3 from 90 to 62, while measles containing vaccines that from 86 to 76. So there was an impact that the immunization coverages were reduced in the first half of the 2020. A significant number of children missed their doses of life-saving vaccine during this first half of the 2020. If we look into the graphs, that there are some antigen-wise national immunization coverages which were dropped, and then in the red you can see the figures that these are the estimated child who basically missed the antigen. Like 0.7 million they missed BCG, 1 million they missed Penta 1, 1.3 million Penta 3, and 0.9 million the measles containing vaccine. So these are the children who missed the vaccination in the first half of the 2020. But we were not just sitting during this period. The polio program and EPI program, they were continuously working to devise some alternate strategies that how to reach and how to minimize the impact of this COVID pandemic. The strategies which were adopted since July 2020, those were provided the IPC guideline and training and safety measures for the vaccination to restart outreach activities and resume immunization in infecticide. This was the first activity that we provide the PPs, the infections prevention control trainings to the vaccinators. So to give them the confidence that now with all these facilities, they can start their effective immunization services to resume the immunization activities. Resume the API services by gradually withdrawing the vaccinator from COVID-related activities. As we all know that EPI program is one of the composed and properly structured program that started from the national up till the union council level, and they have the logistic capacities there, they have the human resource capacities there, they have the capacity of surveillance, they have the capacity of data flowing. So that's why the COVID program initially they use all the EPI structure for these COVID related activities. But then after the first wave, it was down since the 15th June. Then we start withdrawing our vaccinator from the COVID related duties. So this was the second activity we did to resume the immunization activities. The third, that was availability of the vaccines, which was initially it was a big, there was I think stockouts in some of the provinces of some of the antigens. So we ensured that the availability of the vaccine is there. Then to build upon all these three, the vaccine is available, the human resource is available, the preventive measures and trainings are there. So we started our outreach activities, that's the enhanced outreach activities, to cover the children who we missed in the first half of the 2020, and also organize the community mobilization activity. So with all these 5 activities, if we see in the next slide, immunization coverage saw a major improvement in the second half of the 2020. Like the Penta 3 coverage, if we saw from July onward, it's continuously an upward trend. Immunization coverage is that's the fully immunized children, what we call from BCG till measles 1, he attend all the vaccines. So we call them the child as a fully immunized child. So again, we were successful to keep continuous this BCG Penta 1, Penta 3, IPV, measles 1 and measles 2 coverages. That's on the right track even during the pandemic situations. Now coming to the focus of this World Immunization Week, while we focus on critically improving important vaccines to protect against COVID-19, there remains a need to ensure routine vaccinations are not missed. That yes, now the focus that's even the vaccine procurement, vaccine logistic, vaccine training, all the communication, these are mainly these days are around COVID-19. But we will not forget that routine vaccination, the essential immunizations for children, and especially this treaty for women, these are not missed. So that's why this World Immunization Week will be focusing on two aspects: to increase the trust and confidence in vaccines, to maintain or increase the vaccine acceptance. And the second focus will be to increase investment in vaccines, including routine immunization to remove barriers to access. So by this through, we will be having two sort of activities. That one is the communication activities to increase the trust and confidence in vaccine. That will be mainly around the communication. The investments in the vaccine procurement, increasing the access by establishing new EPI centers in the union councils in the areas where we don't have any EPI centers, refurbishment and rebranding of the EPI centers where already they are already working. So around these two, we will be working now after this World Immunization Week when it is completed. So these will help us that even during the COVID-19 situation, we will be ensuring that the routine vaccinations are not missed. These are some of the activities that we are holding across the Pakistan. Yes, this is for sure that vaccine have brought us closer and will bring us closer again. That vaccine bring us closer to our friends, vaccine bring us closer to family, vaccine bring us closer to a fairer world, vaccine bring us closer to a world without pandemics, vaccine brings us closer to eradicate polio, vaccine bring us closer to universal health coverages. Yes, this is for sure that vaccine is one of the most cost-effective public health intervention which prevent all the transmissible diseases, all the vaccine preventable diseases, which were previously, every year we were having the pandemic. If these were diphtheria, these were measles, these were the pertussis were there, polio, we can see. So there were a lot of pandemics, epidemics, and outbreaks of these vaccine preventable diseases. But only vaccine works and it prevents those pandemics and it brings us close. So similarly, this COVID vaccination, last night I saw CDC, they were claiming that once the vaccination is completed, so you can enjoy even outdoor, indoor gathering with your friends who are vaccinated. So the vaccinated groups, they can enjoy with each other very closely within the friends, within the families, within the communities, within the offices. So we have to promote this week, that's basically the initiation to promote the vaccines. But hopefully that will not be the end for promoting this vaccine. And I'm expecting more from the University of Health Sciences, like other institutions, the academias, to come and support these immunization activities across the Pakistan. So it will help us to prevent such like pandemics in coming future. Thank you very much. This is all from my side.